Hello, if you are new here, my name is Madison and this is Mad's Makeup. If you are not new, then welcome back. Thank you for watching. In today's video, I'm going to be doing this Valentine's Day look with this smoky, sexy, romantic eye. So if you want to see how to achieve this look, then just keep watching the video. So I'm starting out by priming and I'm going to be using the Benefit Porefessional Primer. And I just dab little bits of this on my cheeks as well as my forehead. And those are the only areas that I prime with this specific primer because it's pore filling. That's the areas that I have more pores prominent. And this one you kind of just pat in. Now going into the Quench primer from Tarte. This is a nice hydrating formula, which is something my skin needs right now. I'll be placing this in the areas that I didn't already put the Porefessional primers. So I'm going to let that soak in and then I'll be back to start my spot concealing. The primer has now had a chance to soak in, so I'm going to go into color correcting and I will be using my LA Girl Pro Conceals. Now we're going into foundation and today I'm using the Tarte Foundcealer. I am in shade 22N and I'm just going to do some of this in little dots on my skin and then blend it in. Because this year we're not really able to go out for Valentine's, I'm gonna just keep it kind of low-key with the amount of foundation I want, so it's just gonna be a nice light coverage. Okay, so now I'm gonna go into contouring and I'm gonna be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Stick in shade Mink. So I just do down the sides of my nose, contour the cheeks, forehead, and then blending it out with a beauty sponge. Are you a beauty sponge user or do you like to use brushes when you're doing your makeup? I personally use sponges for everything. Might just be because I don't have the right kind of base brushes. I definitely prefer it, and I think because of it being damp, it helps my skin feel less dry when I'm applying products since my skin can be on the drier side. Now we're going to conceal, and I'll be using the NARS Radiant Concealer, and this is in shade Light 2.5 Creme Brulee. And do my under eyes. They're really dark, so I make sure to get that inner corner really well because that's where the majority of my purpleness is. I spot conceal with this and do it down the bridge of my nose for the contour. For powder, I'm going to be going into the Urban Decay All-Nighter. I'm using this one specifically because this is for Valentine's Day, date night. You really want that makeup to last and look well all throughout your night. Most likely it's just going to be at home this year, but still you want that to look nicely on your skin and not go melting off or do anything funky. As I've said before, I always do my full face with powder, so that way when I go into my bronzer and other products, it blends out nicely and I just want that coverage to last all day. And now into bronzer, we're going to be using the Benefit Hoola bronzer. I take this little brush that comes in there, do my nose contouring, and then I take a flatter fluffy brush and use that to do my cheekbones. Now going into highlight, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy Highlighter. Here's the inside, it's a champagne tone. And taking my beauty blender, I will be using that to apply it to the cheeks. And I like doing this because it gives a nice dewy finish to the highlighter. And for blush, I'm going to be using the Florence by Mills Cream Blush in the shade Gorgeous Gia. I just take that on my finger and dab it into the cheeks, and I like to bring it up around the cheekbone like this, and I go in with my beauty blender to blend that out. I've been really liking placing my blush in these spots recently, like higher up on the cheeks, because I feel like it gives my face a more lifted effect. So the base is done, nothing super different than what I would normally do. I just did a little bit lighter of coverage because for the most part we will be staying home this year for Valentine's Day, and so I just don't want to have super heavy feeling foundation on my skin, but everything else is pretty much normal how I would want to do it. Now we're going to be getting into the eye, so I'm going to bring you guys a little closer. I'm going to be starting out by priming with the KVD Shake Primer. And I actually prefer to do my brows after I've already done my eyeshadow. Like today I want to do a very blended out look, and so I don't want to be blending up and ruining my brows, and that way I can blend up into the brow area without having any mess ups on the brows. So I'm going to be going into the Autumn Beauty eyeshadow palette by taking this shade right here, and I'm going to be placing that in the outer corner of my lid. Alright, so it's gonna look like that. I'm gonna be taking the Colourpop shadow and Hear Me Out, and this is a shade that's pretty close to my skin tone. I'm gonna be using that to pack on the outer part of my lid, so that way when I start blending out that liner, it has a nice blend without sticking in weird areas of my lid. I'm just going on a flat brush and just placing that all around. The video had cut out here, but I wanted to let you know that I blended up that dark maroon with a light pink to make a nice gradual blend. And now I'm gonna be going in with this bottom shade right here and just continuing to blend up even more so. Now taking a small tipped brush, we're going to be going back into this shade right here and dragging that with this down to the lower lash line. And we're not going to pull it in all the way, just to about the middle of the eye. And then going with that fluffy brush back into that light shade right here. Now going into the Sincerely Dear Katie Brown palette, I'm going to be going into this top shade right here, a little bit of this purpley shade right here, and placing that on the lid area all around here, just like I did on this eye. I'm going to be lining my lower lash line, and I had originally done a burgundy, but I think I want to do a brown. So I'm going to be using the NYX Brown Liner. I'm going to go finish my brows in mascara off camera, and then I'll be back to do the lashes. Because we're going to be doing the lashes in a different way than normal, I will show that to you guys on camera so you can see that whole foxy eye effect. For my brows, I used the Benefit Goof Proof Brow in shade 4, and for my lashes, I used the Benefit Bad Gal Bang Mascara. Now we're going to go into the lashes, and like I said before, this lash style is kind of the foxy eyelash, where it's really lifting on the eyes. It kind of gives it that nice dramatic sexy effect. I'm using the BPerfect lashes in Style Vibes. So we're going to glue up the lashes, and I'm going to be using the Duo Lash Glue. And for a really detailed version of how you do this look, I have a video about maybe like 6 or 7 videos back called the Foxy Eye Lash Look, and so you can see this in really good details on how you do this type of a lash. So just got that all glued up. I'm going to curl my lashes one more time so they're nice and lifted. And with this particular lash style, you're going to be placing the lash higher up, about like this area on your eyelid, and that's what creates that really dramatic pulled up effect. And then you kind of fill in that area with liner, so that way you can't see the weird lines in between where your lashes are and where the falsies are. So I'm just placing those and then putting them high up on my lash line, down so they're not lifting anywhere, and then taking my Eyeshadow tool, pinch the front, but you're not going to want to pinch it in the back because then it's going to pull the lashes down. You want them to have that lifted effect like they're getting right now. So as you can kind of see, they're pretty high up. They're not like lined up with my lash line, and then we're going to fill in that gap with some liner so that way there's no obvious gap in between. I'm going to be taking the EYEKO liquid liner, and this is just in black, and lining my lash line. So this is going to be the finished look. I did my lips off camera, and I used the NYX liner in shade Bloom, and I just did that all over on my lips. And then I topped it with the MAC lip gloss in Make My Metal. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. It would mean so much to me, and I hope you all have a safe and wonderful Valentine's, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!